Good afternoon. I'm Jeff Ehrman, Global Sales Leader at MegAlert, Inc. Joining me is Mr. Rick Zelm, the founder, chief engineer, and inspirational head of our very successful company. We receive a lot of requests about information for installation of our MegAlert products. In today's video, we're going to show you just how simple that installation can be. First, when you order a MegAlert, you can get it pre-installed in the cabinet, or you can get it in its component parts. If you do receive it in its component parts, either your own electrical engineer or an outside electrical contractor can be brought in to make the installation, and instructions for the installation are included with each unit. With that, I'm going to step aside and let Rick explain to you exactly how the installation process works. Rick, go ahead.
Thank you, Jeff. When the units come to you, they'll come in a box with all the separate components that need to be used for the installation. The MegAlert unit itself has a DIN rail mounting bracket on the back, as well as hard mounting bracket screws to go against the back pan. You take a typical motor bucket where you're going to install the unit, install a piece of DIN rail inside there, snap the MegAlert onto it or mount it to the back pan of the motor control cabinet. It comes with a remote LED cable or plate with a cable on the back of it that would end up being mounted out on the door of the cabinet, along with the megohm meter itself, which is the color-coded dial that gives you the megohm value as well as the user-friendly green, yellow, red zone, so people can understand if the motor is starting to deteriorate on its installation. This low voltage model will come in these three components, and you can simply add it inside the bucket, or we can pre-package it for you in an enclosure like this, with whichever type of box that you happen to need in your environment, NEMA 4X, NEMA 12, whatever you have to have for where the environment's going to be with the motor. We'll pre-mount the meter in the door, the remote LED panel in the door, and then the MegAlert will be installed inside that cabinet for you. This particular model is used for VFD applications, where we'll also pre-package the isolation contactor that's needed to work with a VFD or a solid-state soft starter. The other version of the low voltage models is our 500 MU. It's a little bigger power supply. It still has the DIN rail mounting bracket on the back or the hard mount back pan screws. It'll come with a bigger 1% meter, which mounts inside of the door, and you'll also have a larger remote control panel that has several features on it to allow you to operate the entire motor guard unit from the outside of the cabinet. This is all part of the new ArcSafe series. If you want to see how we mount these in the door, we'll use the other panel to show you our new easy mount bracket. In the past, our panels had to, when you were going to mount and install one of these, you had to cut a 3x4 inch hole in the door with a saw and then drill out the pattern to mount this bracket inside there for a surface mount. We now have a new easy mount bracket available, which allows you to just install the remote panel on that plate and fix it to the door, and all you have to do is drill 4 holes and 1 hole for the cable to go through the back of the panel. This gives you a flush mount capability without having to drill or cut those big large holes in the door. And of course your panel meter on those units is a larger meter, would mount inside the door, simple hole saw, 4-inch hole saw cuts that out, and then you bolt it to the back of the door. The medium voltage units come with a larger remote plate with the same amount of controls and features on it as the low voltage units do. The power supply is a little larger. It can be mounted either flush mount to the back panel inside the motor control center in the high voltage compartment, or you can make use of our side mount brackets, which are furnished as an accessory when you ask for them, that mounts to the side of the MegAlert and lets you mount that unit to the side of the back of a control cabinet panel if there's no room on the back panel. It also comes with a high voltage fuse and high voltage test cable with a current limiting resistor built in it. This unit here screws into the high voltage plug on the MegAlert, and then the other end of this cable goes out to the motor lead, and then you cut the fuse into this wire by cutting the wire and resoldering the connections on there. So you have a permanently installed high voltage fuse in the test lead along with the current limiting resistor, which is part of our protective circuitry. All these units are very easy to install. All the components are furnished with them for you to do the installation, along with the instruction packages and warning labels that go out on the control cabinets to tell you that this system has an automatic insulation resistance tester in it.
Thank you, Rick. We appreciate it and look forward to you doing business with MegAlert in the future.